Welcome back to Season 46 of the Pichu London Ultimate Series. Today we're here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the fourth race of the season. On the pole for this race will be the 54 Alexander Rowe, and alongside him will be the 5 car of Nathaniel O'Hare. Casey Hoyt is back in this race in row number 2, and the other part-timer in this field is Pichu. He'll be starting in row number 3. We're going to go through the rest of the field. Last weekend we were at Phoenix Raceway in the desert, and John Andrews in the 17 took home the race win. There he is. The 17 car was the winner last weekend at Phoenix, and he was the second driver currently in playoff contention here in Season 46 after Luke Law won at Las Vegas 2 races ago. Now let's see if another driver will add his or her name to the list of playoff drivers currently in the field in Season 46. The stages will end on laps 22 and 48 in this 78-lap journey across Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're moments away from the green flag dropping in Atlanta Motor Speedway, the newly rebanked Atlanta, which provides some fast super speedway-like racing. So it's another super speedway to add to the schedule. So we'll see what happens here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The green flag drops in the Peach State. We're underway. JP Lataro already moves up to second position, but the 54 off to a good start from pole. Alexander Rowe off to a good start in the 54. Started on the pole position today. Gonna try to hang on. Here comes Pichu though, the 67. Pichu running his second race of the season. Ran in the 88, by the way, in the Daytona race, the opening race, a couple weeks back. Now Pichu's gonna try to conquer the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Luke Walker, by the way, won at this race, I believe. Well, he initially won the race and the finale here at Atlanta last season, but was disqualified. He failed post-race inspection. The win went to Isaiah Bernesh. But we'll see if Pichu can change that here in today's race. Here comes the 10-car JP Lataro. He's going to go for the lead. Will the number 10 conquer and take the lead? Goes to the bottom. Can he clear the 54? Here comes Nathaniel O'Hare. Oh, one driver's in the wall. Ryan Durani's in the wall. Able to get out of it before he causes a wreck. Don't want that to happen here early on. Lataro clears the 54. He's got Nathaniel O'Hare in his sights. Here comes the 5. Nathaniel O'Hare is going for the lead. And Casey Hoyt's inside the top 5. He is a master of super speedways. 3 of his 4 career wins have come at super speedways, including this season's race at Daytona. So Casey Hoyt, don't count on him. Don't count him out. I should say, don't count him out on these tracks. Casey Hoyt is like the mastermind right now of super speedways. He won twice at Talladega, won at Daytona this season, and he also won the Southern 500 last season as well in Darlington. So now he's going to try to conquer Atlanta. Maybe he'll be one of the few drivers to win in all 3 super speedway tracks. Might be the first to win in all those 3 tracks since Atlanta was reconfigured. Now JP Lataro out in front, trying to hang on over Alexander Rowe. Rowe's to the bottom. Here he comes, Alexander Rowe. Gonna try to clear the 10 of Lataro. He does. Alexander Rowe trying to get back to victory lane. One of the veterans in this field. We saw a veteran in John Andrews make his return to victory lane last weekend at Phoenix. And Alexander Rowe is going to try to join him in the playoffs. Some of the drivers we expected to make the playoffs and others kind of surprised to see in the playoff field, including Luke Law. One of the rookies in the field became the first to lock himself in the playoffs after his win in Las Vegas. Now the 54 car trying to hang on. Look who's on the bottom in the 24 Nathan Ormond. Oh, looks like the teammates are going to try to help each other out. Nathaniel O'Hare getting drafting help from his teammate Nathan Ormond. But will it lead to success here? Alexander Rowe is hanging on for the time being. Here comes the 24. Here comes the 67 of Pichu. Pichu's inside the top 5. He's in a part-time schedule. He's trying to be the second part-time driver to win a race this season after Casey Hoyt won at Daytona to kick off the 46th season. Tyler Jones, it looked like he was almost down to the apron there. Took a chance to go below the apron, and he's going to lose the momentum. So, bit of a rookie mistake there for the 21 team. For Tyler Jones, but he somehow is able to continue inside the top 10. Rose in the lead. A little bit of a gap between him and Nathaniel O'Hare. Here comes the 23. Another rookie's making his way to the front. That's Benjamin Snyder in the 23. Oh, a battle for the lead. Lataro and Rowe going side by side. Oh man, Lataro was giving a little rough edge for the 54 down that turn 4. And now Lataro is approaching. But the 54 on the outside trying to hang on. He's got drafting help from the 5. That might have helped him out to the front. And Rowe hangs on current for now. He hangs on to the lead. He got the drafting help from the 5 to keep the lead away from the 10. 10 car's got nobody to help him out in the draft. He's on the bottom. He's got nobody to help him out in the draft, though. Here comes Nathaniel O'Hare. And Nathaniel's still far behind from 3rd place. Let's see if he can make the pass without drafting help. As Casey Hoyt goes to 3rd. And Hoyt takes 3rd spot away. How about Casey Hoyt? How about that 62 car in 3rd spot? He wants to win again. He knows he's not going to be a championship contender because he is not running a full schedule. But he's one of the drivers that deserves to be running back to a full season schedule. He was a competitor in the playoffs last season. And it was shocking to hear that he didn't make it to a ride this season in a full-time ride, and he deserves it. He's running very well running very well as a playoff driver in a partial schedule. He's trying to make the most of this opportunity and hoping that he gets another chance to win the championship next season in a full-time ride. But I'm sure if a ride opens up, he might be one of the first to be called upon. If a ride does open up, like we saw with the 3 car, Colin Cropley was in that 3 last season, and he was released in the middle of the season, and the various drivers took his spot in that 3. But if we get another driver that loses his or her ride somehow this season, I'm sure that Casey Hoyt will be the first to be on call in case that happens. It'll probably be a little too late for Hoyt to be a contender as he missed the last 2 races, but Hoyt might still have a full-time ride and might be back next season better than ever. To apologize for the race being a little laggy. Not sure what's going on here. I just upgraded my PC, but apparently it's not really taking the race very well. A little laggy on sides for whatever reason. But I want to keep this the highest quality possible for you guys, so you guys can watch the race as they should be, in the best quality there is. Nathaniel O'Hare hanging on to the lead, staying in the draft. Got a few more laps left before the stage concludes. And we saw how restarts can be crazy. The race at Phoenix, though, stage 2, it started off with the leaders wrecking out each other. And that really changed the outcome of the race. So I'm sure that that's on the minds of these drivers when stage 1 comes to an end, and they have to make strategies for stage 2. They're running pretty smoothly for now, but that could change as we get to stage number 2 in just a few laps. Here comes the 54 Alexander Rowe in 2nd place. Can he make the move and try to take the lead away from Nathaniel O'Hare? The 5 team won both stages in Las Vegas a couple weeks ago, but were not able to close out and seal the deal to win the race. But I'm sure Nathaniel O'Hare has that in his mind, and he's going to try to close it out here today at Phoenix. Might conquer another stage victory with a 5 team, but that's probably not what they have their eyes set on. They have their eyes set on a race win. 21 car to the bottom. Tyler Jones goes to the top 5 now, trying to get by Casey Hoyt. Couldn't get the drafting help currently. You might still try to pass him anyway. Trying to pick up another, just at least one more stage point to maybe try to help him out in terms of the standings, in terms of points. But we might get a lot of different winners so far this season. Could keep that streak alive to start off season 46. Could have our 4th different winner as many races. And now to 24 is a little bit of drafting help with the 23 Benjamin Snyder. 24 of Nathan Ormond gets by Tyler Jones. Got drafting, a little bit of drafting help from the 23. That might have helped him out to try to get by the number 21 car. Battle for second between JP Lataro and Alexander Rowe. Not sure if Lataro is going to be able to do it without the drafting help. He's got experience under his belt, but Rowe has a little bit more experience than the 10 of Lataro has. So I wonder who's going to have the advantage. We're just 2 laps away from the stage 1 wrapping up. Nathaniel O'Hare cruising right now. He's on cruise control at this point, trying to hang on and hope nothing goes wrong. And that 5 will conquer stage 1. But he knows he's got a long race to go, and super speedways tend to get a little crazy, especially with the newly repaved Atlanta. Oh, they're almost 3 wide for second place. How about that? They're almost 3 wide. Battling for second. It's a fight for the second position. Big fight there behind him. Daniel right now, all he has to do, run smoothly, and he'll win stage 1. Sorry, thinking a little bit ahead of myself. Anyway, stage 1 about to come to an end, and Nathaniel O'Hare is going to easily win stage number 1. But who's going to take second place? It's between Lataro and Rowe. Let's see who's going to get second, and it looks like it's going to be Rowe that takes second place. Alexander Rowe just barely hangs on to second at the end of stage 1. Looks like a handful of cars have elected to stay out during the caution period in stage number 1 and 2, as Jay Pilataro stays out to be your leader. Interesting call for those guys. Staying out, trying to go on a different strategy than most of the drivers that came to pit road. And there you see the 5 car, the first one to be off pit road. 4 cars stayed out. Jay Pilataro, Tyler Jones, Matt Gomes, James Richardson. Apparently, Jay Pilataro pitted on the next lap after everybody else elected to pit except for him and 3 other drivers. Not sure what the 10 was thinking in terms of his strategy, but he pitted a lap later than most of the drivers did. Not sure what's going on with that 10, but it's going to give the lead over to Tyler Jones. So 3 of the fresher tires will make any difference at all for the 5 car, but it's a super speedway, so going to have to get a lot of drafting help in order to get by anybody here at this newly reconfigured Atlanta. Tyler Jones trying to win and hang on to win this race. He would be the second rookie to win this season after Luke Law won at Las Vegas. Could be about the rookies this season, but Tyler Jones trying to hang on for the win. And Matt Gomes is on the outside of the front row. Gomes was winless last season, but he's going to try to change all that and swapping numbers with Quinn Moore. And going to try to conquer a win and get back into the playoff picture. Here we go. Green flag waves for stage number 2. Going to be running for another a little bit over 20 laps here in stage number 2. Going to run until lap 48. That will be the end of the stage. Richardson in second place, but Tyler Jones, he got a good start. Here comes a 3 car. The 3 of Isaiah Bernash trying to go to the bottom. Here comes Richardson. He's got drafting help. Well, the 54, a little bit of more drafting than the 21. Look at the 54 and the 21 working on a 2-car tandem. And wow, they conquer the inside row. How about that? What a move there. 2-car tandem. And Rowe pulls ahead of the pack. He's on the outside lane. Tyler Jones is on pit road. Oh man, that strategy did not work out in his favor. Neither did James Richardson's strategy. Those were the two that stayed out. They had to come to the pits. Oh man, that strategy did not work out in their favor. I guess they were hoping that a caution would come out early on because Stage 2 was crazy at the start of Phoenix last weekend. But those two, the strategy that did not work out in their favor, they have to come to the pits. They have to get their tires and fuel. Guess they were running low on fuel and the strategy just didn't work out for them. Not sure why they went with a really risky strategy. I know it's early in the season, but kind of a risky strategy to stay out during that first set of pit stops. Matt Gomes was the other driver that stayed out during that set, and he had to come to the pits. And I guess the 10, he had to come to pit road. He was out of gas. He didn't even know what his fuel numbers were until after the drivers pitted under the caution, and so he had to come to the pits, and so that the math would work in terms of him making it on fuel. So, wow, strategies all over the place. Those were thrown out the window, and possibly a race win was thrown out the window for those guys. They come off pit road, and Alexander Rowe is your race leader. Wow. Oh my goodness. It's just kind of bizarre. And two teammates are now second and third. It's between Isaiah Bernesh and Cullen Francis. So this worked out in the favor for the RCR team. Their cars are both running second and third currently. There's the one Jamal Jackson in fourth position. Jamal was runner-up last race at Phoenix. He almost won, but was passed with 8 laps to go by John Andrews, who took home the victory. So Jamal is looking for redemption and looking to get him and his team into the playoffs, along with his teammate, who locked himself into the playoffs a couple races back, I should say, at Vegas. Francis looks low. He's not going to really get a good run on that bottom lane. He doesn't have the drafting help. Nathaniel O'Hare is going to get by the one car. He's got drafting help from the 31 of Dylan Abrahamian. Dylan has been coming alive these past couple races. He was third, I believe, last race at Phoenix. And he has been coming alive early on in this season. Abrahamian was one of the part-time drivers last season. He started off part-time, and then he got a full-time ride in the middle of last season. Now Abrahamian's running full-time for the entirety of this season, going to chase a championship. LG Lataro is the other part-timer that was, he was part-time last season. LG has been upgraded to full-time this season. So now LG and Abrahamian both running full-time rides after being part-time last season. Abrahamian became full-time in the middle of last season and was in the 54, competing for the Joe Gibbs Brigade last season. But Abrahamian wasn't able to get back to Joe Gibbs, so he had to resort to running with Colleague in the number 31 entry. Changed manufacturers while his friend Samad Ozkan stuck with Toyotas. Abrahamian's getting passed though by Nathaniel O'Hare. The 5 car has been coming alive these first couple races. They've been the ones to watch out early on. But Alexander Rowe is the one out in front. The 54 car is trying to score another victory here in Atlanta. And there's a 3 car, I believe. I think Luke Walker was driving the 3 when he initially finished first in Atlanta. And then he was disqualified and he failed post-race inspection. But now Isaiah Bernesh is riding the number 3. He's going to try to win and conquer. He won here last season. Bernesh was the winner here in Atlanta last season. He was in that 78 team after Luke Walker was disqualified. So kind of what goes around comes around. And now Cullen Francis, his teammate, might try to help him out in the draft. He's got no drafting partner. He's just not able to close in on Alexander Rowe. He doesn't have a drafting partner his teammate's trying the best he can to draft with his teammate. But he's going to have to battle with Dylan Ebrahimian right behind him. Ebrahimian is putting the pressure on the number 8. Here comes Ebrahimian, but does he have the grip? Does he have the run? He doesn't have the draft. Looks like the 5 is going to the outside lane, going to draft with the 8. And that might be how he's able to conquer. The 8 car still hanging on. The outside groove has been probably the better groove here at Atlanta. The inside groove has been trying so hard to try to make a pass. Inside's been trying so hard, working overtime for these drivers to make a pass and try to clear their opponents. But the 54 has been keeping it steady throughout this entire race, trying to hang on over the 3 and not make a mistake. I think Bernesh was in a similar situation last season in the championship race here at Atlanta, but he's going to try to make it work now and try to make it through and maybe find some way to get by the 54 car. Oh, Benjamin Snyder's up in the wall. He nearly hits the wall. He nearly clipped that wall there. He was a little too close there. His teammate trying to help him out. See if Durante can clear the 62 car. He's got no drafting partner behind him, but no problem for the 45. He clears the 62, so he's able to make the pass work and not have a drafting partner behind him. I think the 45 going to try to help out the 23. That 23 is left out to dry. And Nathaniel O'Hare is nearly into the wall. Oh boy, they're getting loose now. Now they're battling. And now Jamal Jackson wants to take the position away from Nathaniel O'Hare. Again, no drafting partner. I think Durante's approaching quickly, trying to help him out of the draft. Snyder drafting the 5 of O'Hare, able to give him a little push to get that position back. Durante's just struggling to hang on here. He's trying to hang on and avoid hitting the wall. He's trying to avoid scraping the 45. The outside apparently has a better grip, so that's why he was trying to stick with the outside lane. But right now, he's just barely hanging on. For dear life, he's just barely hanging on to that car to try to avoid hitting that, scraping the wall. The 3 car hangs on now to second place. His teammates trying to draft him and help him out a little bit. But he knows he's got to make this move perfect. He's got to be perfect on this slingshot. He can't mess it up. Might not get another chance at making the pass. Looks like the 8 car going to draft with the 3 to try to keep the 31 out from gaining a position on these drivers. Alexander Rowe has somehow kept it steady, even though teammates are running 2nd and 3rd currently at this point. Alexander Rowe has done a great job at hanging on to this lead here as he's trying to get back into the playoffs with a race win here in Atlanta. Alexander Rowe, he currently has 14 wins under his name. He won twice last season at Indianapolis and Homestead, Miami. So he's trying to win another one. If he wins, it'll be his 15th win of his career. He'll actually be tied with 2 former champions, Connor Breton and Philip Goldberg. And Connor Breton's currently still in the series running in that 47 entry. Just a lap and a half left in stage number 2. Ebrahimian's going to try to gain a position on Nathaniel O'Hare. Doesn't have a drafting partner, but I think his best chance is to try to clear him inside turns 3 and 4. Apparently, I think the bottom lane is better in turns 3 and 4, but the top lane is better in turns 1 and 2. So I wonder if they're going to use that to their advantage. And we might see some bold moves being made in this final stage here at Atlanta as they're running out of time to make a move here at this track. They will be back in Atlanta later in the season, and it's going to be a lot of, and I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm sure they're going to take whatever strategies they learned here from the first one and make the second one a little bit better. But for now, Alexander Rowe is going to win stage number 2. A couple cars have chosen to pit. Ebrahimian's going to pit, but the leaders are going to choose to stay out here at stage number 2. Forgot to mention who finished inside the top 10 in stage number 2, but here are the stage points. And look at these drivers coming down pit road on the next lap. Most of these stayed out of pit road last time, and now they have to come to the pits. I'm not sure what this is all about of these drivers trying to go with different strategies, but it's kind of bizarre. I mean, the pit strategies for everyone is just all over the place. Haven't had a caution caused by a wreck yet here at Atlanta, and the two 2311 drivers are starting on the front row with Benjamin Snyder and Ryan Durrani. Who will get the better jump? We're about to find out. Green flag is out again here at Atlanta. Snyder to the bottom, and he gets the better jump than his teammate. And Chris Leone going to follow him in the draft. So the 7 follows him in the draft. 2-car tandem here. But now Leone's going to go for the lead. Goes down to the bottom. And he's going to clear the 23 car. Looks like he's slowing down. The leaders are coming down to the pits. A lap into stage 3. They're coming to pit road. What is going on here? Like 6 cars had to pit. Just 1 lap into stage 3. I don't even know what's going on. And like I said, the pit strategy is all over the place for these drivers, but they had to come to the pits just a lap into stage 3. That is so weird. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. Anyway, Dalvin Ebrahimian hangs on to the lead as he's battling with Zachary Fitzwater. Down the bottom goes the 4 car. The 4 is trying to win and get into the playoffs. Cullen Francis drafting right behind him. The 7 car just came off pit road. But the guys are gonna be slow, are gonna stay below the apron. They're gonna avoid making contact with the leaders, and probably that's for the best. Don't want to have a big incident here. Don't want to cause a big crash. Fitzwater clearing Ebrahimian, and he takes the lead. The 4 car is your new leader. Zachary Fitzwater is out in front of the field as the 4 is trying to win and get into the playoffs. As I mentioned, this is his final season in the Ultimate Series. This is planned to be his final season. He plans this to be his last season. And see if Zachary Fitzwater can win and get that championship that he has still not won, shockingly, even as the all-time wins leader in series history. Here comes Ebrahimian, though. Gonna fight back. Ebrahimian might clear the 4 on this corner. He does. He's back in front. The 31 team is out in front of Atlanta. As Dalvin Ebrahimian, he was in a part-time ride last season to start off. He then moved onto a full-time ride for the remainder of the season. He showed a lot of promise last year. Now he has a full-time ride, and he is competing for the championship. Comes a 3 car, the 3 of Isaiah Bernash in the top 5 right now, trying to get into the top 5. And the 2 cars from front row, both from the same team, Quentin Moore and Matt Gomes. Both are trying to work in a 2-car tandem, it looks like, trying to get inside the top 5. Oh boy, watch out. 62 KC08 nearly loose with Pichu. The 2 part-time cars in this field battling side by side now in this for a position to try to maybe get a top 10 finish out of this. KC08 was your winner at Daytona, I should say. He won at Daytona earlier this season. He's looking to repeat his success here today. KC08 trying to add another victory for the 62 team after his surprising win at Daytona. There's Pichu in the 67. Goes down the bottom lane, but he's going to get passed by Tyler Jones. But look at that, battle for second. Looks like Matt Hunter got second place. Matt Hunter is up to second. Last season, he made the championship 4, and he was just a stage away from taking the championship. And then the engine went out on the 22 car, and the championship slipped away from him. Now Matt Hunter's he has to win to get in. Matt Hunter's fighting to win. It's just been a struggling start for the 22 team. But Hunter's trying to turn it around with a race win, get above the line, and try to get back into the championship 4, looking for redemption from last season. There's a 34, and Matt Gomes just took third from Zachary Fitzwater. Now Matt Gomes is in third place. Zachary Fitzwater fourth, and Cullen France is up to the top 5. And Dalin Ebrahimian's trying to hold off these veterans to win this race. Cullen Francis to the bottom he goes, trying to get by Zachary Fitzwater. Yeah, I don't know about fuel and tires, by the way, because the driver strategies are all over the place. We saw drivers pit before the caution. They pit during the caution. They pit after the caution. We saw them pit like a lap. We saw several drivers pit a lap after the stage began. So, I don't even know if any of these drivers are going to make it. Wouldn't that be interesting to see? 34 car goes to the bottom lane. He is going to go for second on Matt Hunter. The two Matts. It's the battle between the Matts, Matt Gomes and Matt Hunter. And Gomes right now has the advantage. There he goes. Gomes is going to clear Hunter for the second spot. It's the battle of the Matts. Zachary Fitzwater trying to sneak his way in. And there's Zach joining in the mix in the top 5. And he's now in the top 3, I should say. He has moved up to the top 3. There's still 14 laps remaining. A bit of time to make something work in this final stage. And Francis in 4th. And now Hunter's dropped to 5th. He's going to look low. But he doesn't have the drafting help. It looks like he might be hung out to dry. Oh, 99 was trying to get a little aggressive on Matt Hunter, and he just couldn't make it work. Saw him moving around, trying to get onto the top line, thinking about going to the bottom line. He's got to stay on the top line here. Looks like he's staying on above. Avi Sachs looks low. He's looking low there. And those are the drivers that pitted earlier, by the way, at the lap after the stage began. Guess they did not get their tires and fuel right into their numbers, and not in the numbers that they wanted. So they had to come to the pits a lap after the green flag waved to begin the final stage. Matt Gomes going to ride on the draft of Dalin Ebrahimian. 11 laps remain in Atlanta, and Gomes looks to the bottom. Can he make a move on Ebrahimian? Just can't quite get there yet. He just can't get the draft. He knows he's got to make this move work. He knows it's got to be perfect with the slingshot to make it work, and he can get by the 31. Goes to the bottom. He's going to try again. He has got no drafting help, by the way, as the others have gone to the top side, to top line. 10 to go. 10 to go. Matt Gomes. Oh, I should say Matt Gomes is a lap down. I'm sorry. I apologize. Matt Gomes is a lap down. I don't know why they put him in there. Yeah, my bad. I thought Matt Gomes was bound for top 5. Just really wasn't paying attention that much, but Matt Gomes is not in contention to win this race. Dalin Ebrahimian is. So I apologize for that. Matt Gomes is a lap down. Yeah, I don't know how he got to the top like that. I mean, unless if you were like looking at the ticker, it just, yeah, it doesn't make sense. 9 laps to go. Abrahamian is still the leader even after that battle with Matt Gomes. Zachary Fitzwater just went by the 34. Now his eyes are set on that 31 car. Cullen Francis up to third. And we know that Quinn Moore and Luke Lawler in the top 5. Luke Law trying to continue his success he had a couple weeks ago at Las Vegas. He was the race winner there. And everyone thought the 5 of Nathaniel O'Hare was going to win that race after winning the first 2 stages. The 99 just came out of nowhere in that last stage to win at Vegas. He's got a little bit, but he might have a little bit more in the tank. Might go for another victory in the 99. You know, you would love to pick up a little bit more points just to keep it on the safe side. You never know how many winners will come out of this season before we head to the playoffs. Still very early in the season. Just race 4. So it's going to be 7 to go for the 31 car. Fitzwater has got to fight for the 34. We know that Gomes is a lap down. He is a lap down. And he has to hold off. The 4 has to hold off the 34 to try to keep him from passing him. So he gets a shot at the 31 car. 6 to go. Francis in third, and there's Quentin Moore, Matt Gomes' teammate, in fourth. Moore is fourth right now. Gomes is a lap down. And I wonder if Matt Gomes might, he doesn't look like he's slowing down to help his teammate out at all. Yeah, like the teammates are not acknowledged in this race. It's kind of weird, but yeah, it just works out. Sometimes, most of the time it works out that way. Anyway, 5 laps to go. Abrahamian trying to hang on. Fitzwater on the outside. He's trying to find a lane. He's trying to make something work. Try to catch that 31. 8 car goes to the bottom. He is also trying to make something work. He's trying to get a run on the top 2 in front of him. He's only got 4 laps to go to catch him. And now 5th place is Samad Ozkan, and it's Dylan's longtime friend inside the top 5. Wonder if the 11 is going to be able to help out 31. Not likely, though, but Abrahamian is going to try to hang on and win this race. Coming to 3 laps to go, and he's slow. He's not going to have enough fuel. He's run out of gas. He loses the lead. And Zachary Fitzwater is your new leader with 3 laps to go. Oh, we knew that the tires and fuel was going to be all over the place for these guys, and the 31 just didn't have enough. The 4 car, we'll see if he does. We'll see if he has enough fuel. Might be letting the 34 pass. Fitzwater leading the race, coming to 2 laps to go. Francis in 2nd place, right behind him. Gomes is a lap down. The 4 car goes on the outside, tries to avoid making contact with lap traffic. But does he have enough fuel? Abrahamian just came off pit road. He knows his race is over. He just didn't have enough fuel to win it. Coming to the white flag. Fitzwater slow. He doesn't have enough either. He's out of gas. And the 8 car Cullen Francis leading with 1 lap to go. Cullen Francis in the lead. Does he have enough fuel? Samad Ozkan looks low. Just can't get a run. The 8 car trying to save fuel to win this race. He is a former champion. Trying to bring RCR and the number 18 back to the playoffs. Last season they had to win the regular season finale with Logan Nieto to get in. But this time they're going to do it earlier. Here he comes off the final corner. Cullen Francis wins at Atlanta. The former champion is back in victory lane. Cullen Francis brings the 18 from RCR back on top. The final results from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Cullen Francis is your race winner. Gets back to victory lane after going 10 seasons without a race win. Becomes the 3rd driver to lock himself into the playoffs with a victory. So you can pause the video to find out where he finished in the standings. Stringer and Taylor were the only two retired because of mechanical issues. We had 15 lead changes. Durrani had the fastest lap. Alexander Rowe led the most laps at 30, and Matt Hunter was the biggest mover at 31 spots gained from his starting position. And again, let's remind you about the results from stages 1 and 2. Nathaniel O'Hara was the stage 1 winner, and Alexander Rowe was the second stage winner. And the biggest mover of stage 3 was Matt Hunter. And one more thing, who got the most points for the race? It was Cullen Francis that got the most points from the race itself. Rowe was in both stages, 19 points, almost the maximum stage points to earn, but one below the maximum in stage points. But he finished in 12th and ended up with 44 points in total, second most behind Francis, the race winner. 4 races in, I should say, and let's take a look at the standings. Nathan Ormond is the points leader now, with 13 ahead of Alexander Rowe. Cullen Francis at 1 win puts him third in the points. So he's in a very good spot to lock himself into the playoffs based on standings and that 1 win he had in Atlanta. John Andrews, the other winner, is 8th in the points, and Luke Lawle, the winner, the first one to lock himself in the playoffs, dropped to 11th in the points. So Liam Stewart currently last place in the points, but again, still very early into the season, anything can happen. A win puts you back out on top, maybe into the playoffs. We'll have to wait and see about that. Anyway, the road course is coming up next weekend at COTA, Circuit of the Americas. The first road course event of season 46 will be going next time. So this will be an experience for some of the rookies that have never run on a road course before. Hope you'll join us then, and we will see you guys next week at Austin, Texas.